since we're talking about using the offices in different ways, using charging in different ways to help pull the new experience together, let's talk about something not necessarily related to technology, but let's just talk about the state of engineering and innovation in 2021. So 2020 was majorly disrupted, and the way that we do things and the way that other companies do things when it comes to R&D, developing new technologies, integrating new solutions changed. So what do you see, Jim, in 2021? Obviously, there's the vaccination efforts. There's the glimpse of hope that we might be able to open up more in spring and summer. But is engineering just going to go back to the way it was in 2019, or is engineering forever changed? And how do you see the year of 2020 changing the way we do things?
Yeah, I don't see things going back to the way they were, mostly because this has been such a disruptive year. There's that old saying that necessity is the mother of invention.
Mhm.
Um, as a result of everything that's happened this year, people have been forced to figure out how to work from home. Engineers, and we did this at NuCurrent, when we kind of saw the storm clouds brewing, is start developing little kits that engineers could take home to be able to work from the home as much as possible, not coming into the office. So they took advantage of that, and we found that we were able to actually maintain a high level of productivity realistically to the point where I didn't see any break in our performance as a company, being able to innovate, move things forward with the office itself being less utilized. We still have people going in there. There's still equipment that we have to be able to use in the office. But the ability to be more flexible has really been pushed to its limits. Thank heavens for all of these video applications that allow us to talk face to face as if we're sitting in the same room together. But I saw this as a bit of a watershed moment in that things aren't the way they were before. They don't have to return that way because we figured out what worked. Again, the flexibility I think was a huge benefit that we learned how to handle that this year. So I thought that was a big part of 2020 of what was good about it.
Sure, sure. I think about New Current's role a lot of times with these larger companies we work with as being the bridge between advanced technology and product implementation. And so oftentimes we're working between different groups, and we've learned over time how to do this remotely and how to do this communication and how to make sure that the balls are all being juggled and staying in the air. So I felt like the pivot to work at home for us was a little bit more natural, given that we're already working at home with a lot of our partners that we're helping them launch their mass production products and bridging an advanced technology into a real technology that's ready to go to market. But my hope for 2021 is that some of the learnings that we had as a smaller company and a flexible, nimble company, even before the stay-at-home orders, started, I hope that our large company, our Fortune 100 partners, they're seeing some of these opportunities to use these tools to further enhance collaboration because they weren't allowed in their labs, they weren't allowed in their conference rooms, and as much as we like those and gain benefit from them, I think they're dependencies for some of these larger companies. So I see that it took a little bit more time for those companies to adjust to the norms in 2020. But once we started seeing those companies move and shift, I think that the productivity has gone up in the way that we work with them, in the way that they work internally. And I'm really optimistic about product development and R&D cycles going forward because of the learnings, not just for nimble, small, fast companies like NuCurrent, but also for big companies that wouldn't have done this voluntarily. But as you said, necessity breeds innovation, and they had to make it work. And now that they've been forced through this sieve of being able to be productive without all being together and without having all of your tools and all of your EMI chambers right there at the ready all the time, I think it's really brought more efficiency to the process. I'm excited to see what that means for new product launches and product growth in 2021.
That'll be interesting to see. As you said, I think from a new current perspective, we're a relatively small company. There's not much separation from our executive office to the sales office to the backroom engineers. our customers that we deal with on a weekly basis, they'll see the sales organization as well as the engineering team sitting in the same calls with them, listening to the problems, all real time, being able to address them. That's something that, at least big companies I've worked for, we've never had. There's always been a level of separation, and that was actually always, quite frankly, desired, because you want to leave the engineers off innovating in the back room. They're kind of told what to do, but there's no substitute to getting in front of the customer and hearing not only what the problem is, but the tone of voice they use when describing the problem, the sense of urgency they have. There's no substitute for that. And as an engineer, I find it motivational, because you're trying to solve the problem for that person. You're both in the same battle together, and it's like a buddy in the foxhole. You want to fix their problem. Where if you get a level of remoteness, that doesn't happen. The same sense of urgency isn't there. So I think that's an advantage with a small company. We'll see how big companies handle that as a result of what's happened here in the past year with the all of the remote engagements, and see if that's improved.
Yeah, let's hope. And I'm confident that there'll be a best of both worlds scenario where the learnings that we all got from 2020 and the previous norms prior to 2020 will take the best of both, and it will increase productivity, it will increase communication, it will decrease travel and entertainment when it's not important, but we'll be able to do it when it is important and valuable, because there's certainly real value of sitting down and working on things together. And we don't want to lose that. And I look forward to when we're able to get that back.